Weezy out of here.
The dash is digi, the schedule busy. My head in a hoodie, my shorty a goodie. My cousins are crazy, my cousins like boogie. Life is amazing, it is what it should be. Been here for 10, but
What's going on, guys? Pocket Clips here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my Week 1 battle for the UDN. And this week we're going to be facing off against Edgar, coach of the San Jose Scizors, and he has a team of Zygarde 50, Mamoswine, Darmanitan, Jolteon, Rhyperior, Kangaskhan, Mega Scizor, Tapu Fini, Lurantis, Golisopod, and Gengar. And this week, I'm bringing a team of Mega Mawile, Latias, Greninja, Rotom Wash, Amoonguss, and Scolipede. And this week, I did not have time to make a team builder, but usually for most weeks, I'm going to be uploading a team builder on Saturday. So I'm just going to go ahead and give a quick rundown of the team I'm bringing. So my Mega Mawile set this week is Swords Dance, Play Rough, Sucker Punch, Fire Fang, with pretty much max HP, max attack. And the purpose of this is just kind of to break down his team, as he doesn't have a lot on his team that's going to be able to switch into Mega Mawile consistently. For my next Pokemon, I decided to bring Latias, and this is a Haban Berry set. And the purpose of this is if Zygarde gets set up to a certain point, or Noivern, and it's pretty much the Eat a Dragon type hit, because he's never going to be expecting a Haban Berry on Latias, and I'm just able to OHKO it in return. And I'm running max speed, timid, with about a little bit investment in a special attack and a little bit of HP. Then for my next Pokemon, I decided to bring Greninja, and this thing has a really good speed tier against his team. It's really fast, and it's just able to pivot out with U-turn, and just hits a lot of his team pretty hard. So my set this week is Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, U-turn, Hidden Power Fire, and Expert Belt, so I can hit the super effective moves, make them even stronger without having to take the Life Orb recoil. And next, I decided to bring Rotom Wash, and I wanted to bring a defensive set, and the main purpose of this was to check Darmanitan, which actually didn't end up coming, which was really surprising to me, as it hit a lot of my team really hard, and I didn't have great switch-ins besides Rotom. So I was bringing a fully physically defensive set with Will-O-Wisp, Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, and Defog. And my next Pokemon, I decided to bring Amoonguss, and I'm bringing Assault Vest Amoonguss for Tapu Fini and Zygarde specifically, and Tapu Fini didn't end up coming, which was also a pretty big surprise to me. And my set this week is Giga Drain, Stomping Tantrum, Clear Smog, and Hidden Power Ice. And the Clear Smog is to stop any setup he wants to bring on his team, specifically against Zygarde and Tapu Fini. And the Hidden Power Ice also hits Zygarde really hard. And I had to decide between Hidden Power Ice for Zygarde and Hidden Power Fire for Mega Scizor, and I just decided that Hidden Power Ice is just probably the better way to go, as this is going to be my best Zygarde check on the team, as I don't have many. And then for my last Pokemon, I decided to bring Z Scolipede, Bug Z Scolipede, with Mega Horn, Earthquake, Poison Jab, and Spikes, and pretty much max attack and max 240 speed with Gel in nature to outspeed pretty much most of his team. Anyways, so let's just go ahead and get right into this match. So looking at the initial matchup, I saw that Rotom Wash had a really good lead against everything except for maybe Mega Scizor and Jolteon. And the main thing I didn't want to see was I really did not want Mamoswine to hit the team, as I didn't have very good switches to it, and Rotom Wash was definitely my best lead, and I thought I could get a good lead start off, especially against his rockers being Rhyperior and Mamoswine. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. And as you guys can see, he actually decides to lead Jolteon, which is kind of annoying, but I don't really know his sets yet, and Amoonguss, especially Assault Vest Amoonguss, just hard walls this thing, so Amoonguss is definitely my best switch in, so that's exactly what I decided to do. I go Amoonguss, as he's going to go for the T-Bolt, and that does pretty much nothing. And here he kind of reveals that he is Life Orb, so he's going to switch out, Volt Switch into Noivern, and I decided to go for the Hidden Power Ice here. And this was huge, because Noivern was going to be really annoying to deal with in this match, as I did not prep really good against it. So hitting a hidden power ice on it early is really nice, chipping it down all the way, doing 65 damage, which is a good chunk to that thing. And I figured here he was either going to go Zygarde, Noivern, or Mega Scizor, and luckily he decided to go Noivern, as that hidden power ice is going to do a huge chunk to this Noivern, making this easier to done. As he's just going to U-turn out, and I decided to stay in because they can't really do that much, and I'm able to KO. And I'm going to click HPS again and use Scizor. So here, my best check for Mega Scizor is definitely Rotom Wash, as I'm running the Will-O-Wisp. In case he wants to set up, I can just always click the Will-O-Wisp on it and just completely half its attack stat, which would be huge, because this thing's going to be really annoying otherwise. And as you see, he's going to go for the Aerial Ace, which is some really cool attack, as it hits Amoonguss pretty well, and that was a really good break on his part. But anyways, he decides to switch out into Jolteon here, predicting the Will-O-Wisp, and that's actually really nice because Jolteon's now going to be chipped down by burn damage and life orb damage, which is really nice, making this thing not able to freely attack, especially since Amoonguss is still out there on the field. It's just going to take so much damage. So anyways, here, like I said, I just go hard into Amoonguss, as they cannot do anything to me, as Shadow Ball does 16%, and he gets this Spadef drop, which isn't really that big of a deal, as he's not doing much damage anyways. So here he Volt Switches out, taking more damage, already down 50%, and he goes Rhyperior. So here, I went for the Stomping Tantrum in case he stayed in, and just kind of to see what he wanted to go into, and turns out he went into Rhyperior, so I kind of learned that he's not the Weakness Policy Rock Polish set, so that's kind of nice, and he's more of a defensive set. And pretty much here, I'm just going to click the Giga Drain, because I see no reason not to, as he just sets up rocks, and I do a ton of damage to him, get all my health back, and put Rhyperior in a really bad position. So yeah, that was just a really nice thing to get chipped on, and I kind of predicted him to switch out here as he stayed in, so I just went into Rotom Wash and figured I'm just free to click the Defog here and get rid of his rocks, because that'd be annoying later on. And he's going to go for the Dragon Pulse here, as I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, and here I realized I didn't have very good switch-ins to Noivern, which is why I stayed in with Rotom Wash in the first place, and I just decided to Volt Switch into Latias, because I was Habanberry and I'm able to take any hit, and my Greninja is not fast enough to outspeed Noivern, and I'm not running the Water Shuriken to guarantee me the kill. So that's why I decided to go Latias here. And he's going to go for the Dragon Pulse. I'm going to eat my Habanberry, take about 50%, just go for the Psychic and get the first KO of the season. And he decides to go Mamoswine here. And at this point, I'm realizing Latias isn't really going to be that useful, as it's only really there. Its purpose was to eat a Dragon Hit from Zygarde, and I've already eaten my Habanberry, so at this point I figured he might go for predict the switch and go for the Icicle Crash. So I decided to go for the Draco Meteor, do a ton of damage to Mamoswine, as he did not go for the Ice Shard and actually clicked the Icicle Crash, which is huge for me, as this thing's super chipped down. Now here's I just get to go free switch in Greninja, click Hydro, because he has no real switch-ins. And here he goes Jolteon, and I'm 100% going to go Amoonguss here, as it is able to not even touch me. And he goes for the Volt Switch, taking me Life Orb damage, and he goes out into Mega Scizor. So at this point in the game, I feel like I'm in a really good position, as it's 5 versus 4, and I have good switch-ins for all of his pivots, and he doesn't really have good switch-ins for Mega Mawile, especially since I'm running the Fire Fang, which will be really useful later on. So here I'm just going to go hard into Rotom Wash, as he wants to click the Swords Dance, and I'm just going to go for the safe Will-O-Wisp play here, as I see no reason not to. So he makes a good switch into Jolteon, and he just continues to take more and more damage. And like I said, I can just always go Amoonguss on this thing, as it's going to not even be able to touch me. And Jolteon at this point is chipped down super low, so he clicks, I assume that was probably the hidden power Ice, and so I'm able to claim a kill on Jolteon here with the Giga Drain, and I'm in an even better position now, as he gets a free switch into Zygarde. And at this point, I'm figuring his only way of winning this game is if he's going to be able to set up. And since I'm running the HP Ice, I'm going to be able to do a good chunk of damage against it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to click the Hidden Power Ice here, and I'm going to do about 40%. Now, I'm also running Clear Smog on Amoonguss, and right now, Zygarde is not able to kill me. unless he uses a Z move. And so I figured that he's probably going to go for the +2, as Zygarde's not even one of his Z users. So I figured I'm going to go for the Clear Smog here, as he's not going to be able to do anything. Okay, so as he does go for the setup, and I just completely reset his stats here with the Clear Smog, which is really nice for me. And then I'm just going to click Hidden Power Ice again, just chip this thing down and just continue to do damage. And I see no reason not to click Hidden Power Ice, as he reveals the Zen Headbutt, which was a really good bring of his, but it is a good thing that I lived, as I'm able to KO Zygarde and just put myself in a great position. So now he goes into Mega Scizor, as this is the freest Rotom Wash play of my life. So just go into Rotom Wash as he sets up the Swords Dance, and I just get a free Will-O-Wisp here. And now his attack stat is cut in half, and he's able to do pretty much nothing. So now I'm just going to go ahead and Volt Switch out here and go into my Mega Mawile, as he's not going to have any switch-ins, especially since I have the Fire Fang, as he goes for the U-turn straight into Rhyperior. Just an interesting play. And at this point, I can just go into Rotom Wash, and just, as he's going to go for the Earthquake, I just get a free Hydro Pump here and claim a kill on either or. And I get the kill on Rhyperior, leaving it into a 1v5 versus a Scizor, which in this case, it's going to be impossible for him to win. So I'm just going to go ahead and Volt Switch out into my Mega Mawile, as I'm going to be able to get the Intimidate off and just be able to click Fire Fang and win the match. So I just want to go ahead and just say good game to my man Edgar. He played this game pretty well. It's just that I ended up having a better matchup, I think, overall in this game, but it was definitely a fun game to play. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next week for week 2, and hopefully you'll be able to get that team builder out on Saturday. So I will see you guys later.